So I want to take you back to the first Promise Keepers Convention. Yeah, thousands of years ago, and Moses comes down from the mountain with tablets in hand, and he reads everything to the people of Israel, and they say, and I quote, "We will obey everything." Now, if you know the Old Testament story, you know that that first Promise Keepers Convention was a total bust. In other words, what was it? Like 5 minutes that Moses had been gone and they were smelting a golden calf? I mean, obviously they were disobedient very, very early. The first Promise Keepers were no promise keepers at all. And there's a reason for that. The law is actually designed to show us that we can't keep promises to God. Real Christianity is not about us proving our faithfulness to God. It's really about letting God prove His faithfulness to us. You know, one of my favorite things about the New Covenant is that the book of Hebrews tells us that God could swear by no one greater, so He swore by Himself. He swore by Himself so that by two unchangeable things, God and God. Yeah, those are the two unchangeable things. You're changeable, right? So am I. I'm very changeable. Just follow me around for a day and you'll see that my performance and even my belief, well, it might wane and it might be big or small in a given moment or situation. It's like riding a roller coaster. We are very changeable. And because of that, because God knew that, He instead swore by Himself so that by the unchangeable God and the unchangeable God, we would have this covenant as an anchor. So, Christian, what has been anchoring you? Is it your promises to God? Good luck with that. It's really about God's promise to Himself. And so then you say, well, what do I do? There's an Old Testament story. It's interesting. It definitely shows us our place. You know, God is speaking with Abraham and He's about to strike a deal. And Abraham is excited about this deal with God. But then Abe, well, he falls asleep. He falls asleep on the job. And when he wakes up, the covenant has been ratified. What role did he play? Well, apparently God did it all, and then he woke up and was a beneficiary of it. It's the same way with us. When we enter into salvation, all we can do is wake up and say, wow, and thank you, because of the promise that God made to Himself. So, do you realize that there is something incredible, unshakable, unbreakable, unchangeable that has got you locked in, sealed forever, and that is God's promise to Himself? People often ask, can I lose my salvation? And then the next question is, but what if I? But what if I commit a really big sin? But what if I commit the same sin over and over and over again? We put ourselves in the equation, don't we? But what if I? And the gospel is announcing it's not about us. It's not about our promise keeping. It's not about our faithfulness. It's not about our performance. Even when we are faithless, He remains faithful because He cannot disown Himself. There's a rich truth in there. Where does Jesus Christ live? He lives in you. Why will God never disown you? Because He can't disown Himself, and He will live in you forever. Do you see the promise that has sealed the deal for you? It is a promise that God made to Himself, and it is rock solid.